So here I am at the Le Chalet Basque in San Rafael, and I'll be interviewing Patrick
Jean Minhondo.
Jean Minhondo. So we'll do that here in just a few minutes.
Chalet Basque was opened in 1962 by Raymond and Jean Coscarat, and they had it for about 8 years with their chef that they started it from, with an original small menu. It was a 3 entree menu. It was a nice beef bourguignon, a poulet basquez, or a pate sandwich, and you got a little iceberg lettuce salad with it. And fast forward to 1969, and my father, who grew up in the Basque country, who went to culinary school in Biarritz, was living in Paris. He was 20 years old at the time, working at a German restaurant, in fact, in Paris, trying to get his green card to come here. And finally got his green card. And at that time, when you came here with a green card, you had to have a sponsor. His sponsor was Raymond and Jean Coscarat, who owned the Chalet Basque here in San Rafael. They knew their families from generations before in the Basque country. And so my father had the opportunity to come here with a sponsor, flew here in 1969 into SFO, and came to San Rafael, and lived in the little house on the property here with Raymond and Jeanine, and worked as their head chef in 1969, 1970. And by 1971, my father was able to save up a little money after working here for 2 years, and he had the opportunity to open his own restaurant. So he left the Chalet Basque here to open up a restaurant called the Normandie. And the Normandie was on Miracle Mile. He had a partner there, and everything was going great, except he wanted to kind of branch out completely on his own. And so he had the opportunity to buy a restaurant in Sausalito at that time, in the early 70s. And so he bought a restaurant right on Bridgeway as you're entering in beautiful Sausalito, called the Guernica. The Guernica he ended up having for 26 years, really successful, many, many beautiful years. I grew up, my childhood was running around that restaurant. Upstairs, we had this beautiful banquet room that he would have, and we'd play under the tables and play hide and go seek. And when I was 14, in the year 2000, 30 years after my dad first came here, this restaurant, the Chalet Basque, was for sale. At that time, it was owned by a couple, Francisco and Antoinette Oroz. And so my father always loved this place. It was the first place he ever worked at. So it was a dream for him when he found out it was for sale. It came with 2 houses on the property and the restaurant. And so he decided to do it. And so he bought this restaurant in 2000 and never looked back. He sold the Guernica to his maitre d' at the time, Gary. Anyway, so my dad kept the name Le Chalet Basque here, but brought all of his recipes, his staff, his cooks, everybody with him here. And so he spent a good 14 solid years here before he was diagnosed with cancer. When he was diagnosed with cancer in 2014, at the end of 2013, I was myself just living in France at the time. I was actually living in Biarritz, where he went to culinary school all those years earlier. I was working at a hotel restaurant there. And so when I moved back, he was diagnosed with a cancer called multiple myeloma. And so at that time, he had to pull back and stop working. And I was at the age where I was really deciding I wanted to go into this industry. Before he got sick, I was going to possibly go into the hotel industry. But I was working here, kind of figuring out what I was going to do. And unfortunately, he was diagnosed with that cancer. So I started working here, really close with him as much as he could work at the time. And it was just kind of a slow transition from my father, Roger, running the restaurant to me. Unfortunately, he got sicker and sicker as time went on, and I was at the age where I was able to do it on my own at that point. And so I've been fully running it myself for about 7 or 8 years now. My father passed away 2 years ago, And the last few years, he was pretty much out of the business for the most part, except coming here and enjoying holidays still and seeing all his friends and customers and friends he's had in this business for 40 years. But yeah, for me, it's a beautiful story for our family. It's a full circle story for my father, a real traditional immigrant, came here with no money in his pocket. Just an opportunity, a beautiful family that gave him an opportunity, gave him a job, and he took it and created a beautiful life for our family. I have 2 older brothers, and we all grew up working as busboys and dishwashers, and they're both in their own careers, but I fell in love with it from when I first started working here when I was about 14. So yeah, that's kind of the history of our family and Le Chalet Basque. Yeah, I mean, we're very lucky here. Since it's been here since 1962, we have generational family customers that have been coming here for years. Kids who grew up coming here now bring their kids and grandkids. We do very little advertising here. Mostly it's word of mouth. We do a lot of banquets and private parties, and every time we do those banquets and private events, we seem to get new customers who've never been here before. But we love new people to come down. It's what makes us grow and makes this restaurant continue. We're a neighborhood restaurant. We're in the middle of Santa Benicia here in San Rafael, and there's no other businesses. So, we get very little guests and customers that are driving by saying, oh, we should go try the Chalet Basque sometime. Really, you're only in this area specifically if you're going out to beautiful China Camp to go hiking or mountain biking, or if you happen to have a friend who lives out here. So for us, to get new families and new customers is a really important thing, and most of that is done by word of mouth. So doing this with you hopefully will bring us new people. Here at the Chalet Basque, we're a traditional French-style Basque restaurant. Real traditional French Basque restaurants have long tables where it's fully family-style dining. We have a little modern twist on that. So when you dine with us, you will order your own individual entree, but with that entree, most people have 5 courses. So we do family-style pate appetizers to start. We make a wonderful homemade pork liver pate here. That's been a traditional Basque pate passed down for generations, really. After that, we do family-style soup, which will come with your entree, as well as salad that comes with your entree. And then everyone's individual entree will come to the table. After that, we also do individual desserts for everybody. So most traditionally here is a 5-course dinner, traditional to French Basque-style eating. It's so funny. I always with stuff like this. One time I did this before with a guy, and I always pride myself on being a good public speaker and good with people, but with this individual stuff, I always feel like I'm so terrible at it.
No,
I was just telling him, I was
supernatural.
After the whole time, I was like, should I have been looking at you the whole time? I'm looking into the camera and then back at him, which is probably the worst thing you can do with this stuff.
Yeah.
After I've already done all that. Okay, I want to say thank you to Euskal Kazeta for coming here and interviewing me and taking the time to listen to the history of my family and this restaurant. And for all of you who watch this, we look forward to seeing you here in the future, to come try us and dine with us and really get to experience what it's like to eat at a French Basque restaurant here in the United States.
So she saw the sunsets.
throughout the years, I've gone to Le Chalet Basque. It's been around for 6 decades, so I've been there for many occasions, mostly with family. And on this particular Saturday, I was there with family, and we were celebrating the life of J.B. Camino, my mom's first cousin. It was really special to have it at the Chalet Basque, Le Chalet Basque, because Le Chalet Basque for me is synonymous with fine dining and also in a familiar place, a place that is a family place, a neighborhood, just like Patrick said, a neighborhood restaurant. So it was really special to have it there. And you might notice in the video, you might have seen Francisco Oroz and his wife Antoinette and their daughters, and also Pierre, who was the previous cook under the Coscarat family. So that was kind of special to see him also there. So as always, if you like this video and you want to see more like this, then please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know, it's free. So just subscribe. We're trying to get our numbers up to 1,000, so it'd really be helpful if you did that for us. We would really appreciate it. And as always, Guasen, let's go.